It's everyone's dream to pay off the mortgage early, and we're following people who are trying to do just that. In this programme, we're with two friends who aim to make over £500,000 in just 1 year. It's an incredible amount of money to aim for, but they're prepared to risk everything trying to pull it off. Old friends Lindsay and Roger have dreams of escaping the rat race. They've invested together before on the stock market and lost it all, but the friendship survived.
We have a joint bank account. Some money's in that sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's in Lindsay's personal or mine.
They're about to make another investment together, but this time they're reaching for the sky. They aim to be mortgage-free and set up for life within a year. So how do they plan to do it? By building 22 apartments in a 5-storey development in Bulgaria. It's a mammoth project for two amateurs with only 1 year to pull it off.
If you want to run the project, Roger, you run it, I'll sit on my arse in the UK because I don't know what's going on.
2006 could be the year we make a lot of money, it could be the year we go bankrupt.
Oh,
Family man Lindsay Temple lives in Kent with his wife Jill and young son James. He works for British Rail as a safety officer, which means working nights and weekends. The long shifts are taking their toll as he rarely sees his son. Now Lindsay has had enough.
we still do our day-to-day, earn our money, come home. But we've also got another thing to aim for, and that's maybe retirement through this. And then we can do what you want to do in life instead of having to work 9 to 5 every day.
1, 2, 3.
Lindsay's very entrepreneurial. He always has a good idea up his sleeve. He's got a huge amount of determination.
No one on it, Jake.
Once he sees a problem, he's absolutely determined to overcome that, come what may.
But I know I'll succeed. It's always been a goal, is to succeed.
Roger Palmer is a hard-working builder from Kent. He's in his 50s and dreams of an early retirement and being mortgage-free.
I wouldn't like to do this when I'm 65 in the middle of January. It would be nice to earn a good living, doing something I want to do and being left to do it on my own rather than being told what to do by working for a boss.
Roger's tried to make big money before, but now he's about to take the biggest gamble of his and his wife Linda's life.
He's always up for a challenge. That's why I married him. He's not going to be boring.
That was a challenge.
But this is going to be the biggest challenge of them all. This time, Lindsay and Roger are risking everything that they've got, starting with their homes. Roger has a mortgage of £50,000 and Lindsay has a mortgage of £60,000. Their plan is to extend their mortgages in the hope of paying them off completely in 12 months' time. Extending their mortgages will raise a total of £55,000 between them. They've also taken out personal loans to a value of £80,000. Finally, by cashing in all their investments, they've managed to raise a further £65,000. This makes a total build budget of £200,000. Roger and Lindsay are investing all this in Eastern Europe. They have chosen Bulgaria, situated on the Black Sea coast. But there's no dipping a toe in international waters here, because they're building a 5-storey complex of holiday apartments. An incredible project for first-time developers, especially ones who don't speak the language. They're hoping to walk away with over £500,000 in before-tax profits in the space of just 1 year. That's enough money to pay off both of their mortgages and retire early.
There isn't any point at the end of the day saying, what if?
No.
If we'd have done that, what would have happened? We'd rather do it and see what happens rather than thinking, well, we should have done it.
This is one of the most gung-ho ventures I've ever heard of. A 22-apartment building in a foreign country is an enormous project in itself. But borrowing money against your own home and putting all your savings into it is a phenomenally risky gamble. If it goes according to plan, they could be set for life. But if it goes wrong, they stand to lose everything.
Most people going to Bulgaria are reasonably sane and they just buy one apartment or a couple of free houses in the country. You've got to be a total idiot to try and build an apartment block of 22 apartments, really.
Especially an apartment block that's short of cash, because the £200,000 Roger and Lindsay have raised only finances half of the project. To make their dream come true, Roger and Lindsay have flown out to get the project rolling. Later on, they will take it in turns overseeing the work, so good communication is vital between the two of them, not to mention with the locals. They've paid a local architect to draw up the plans, and they've shopped around to find a builder with the lowest quote.
We've negotiated hard with the builders. So, you know, we've screwed the builder down to as good a price as we can possibly get.
Cheers.
But in my experience, you get what you pay for. Finding the cheapest builder in Bulgaria isn't the firmest foundation for a first-time investor.
Hello, nice to meet you again.
They've got their permissions and now everything is in place, except for one small but decisive detail. The boys have only managed to raise £200,000 on a build costing £480,000, leaving a shortfall of £280,000. Despite the hole in their budget, they're going ahead anyway, and if they can pull it off, they stand to make more money than they could ever dream of.
This time next year, we'll be millionaires.
Sponsored by ING Direct Home Insurance.
And if you're out there now, sweetie, please come home.
In order to find the missing.
Have you seen this kid?
When was the last time you saw him?
What's all this about?
They're all missing.
He will kill them. Have you heard anything about your son?
Your new daughter?
No.
The lost need to want to be found.
I'm not gonna let him find you.
Goodbye, Kevin.
He chased after me, Dad. What if he finds me?
Without a Trace. Thursday at 9 on More 4.
People of Britain, we urge you to challenge Churchill.
Challenge Churchill?
Yes, person of Britain. Challenge Churchill to give you a better insurance deal.
Can you guarantee to beat the price I'm paying now for my car insurance?
Oh, yes.
Hi, Churchill. What about home insurance? Can you do the same for that?
Oh, yes.
And do you have call centres in this country?
Oh, yes. Come on, Britain. Challenge Churchill. If you haven't claimed for 3 years, we guarantee to beat your renewal price.
Oh, yes.
Blue, yellow, red, blue, red, blue, yellow, red, yellow, black, 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 red.
Perform mental exercises and see if your brain improves.
At Homebase, Dulux Pure Brilliant White 5-litre emulsion is now 3 for the price of 2. That's just £8.66 per tin. Homebase, make a house a home.
Critics are hailing World Trade Center as one of the year's best films. Newsweek proclaims it is a story about hope, survival, and selflessness. And Time magazine calls it a gripping, powerful movie experience. World Trade Center.
The better the paintbrush, the better the finish. We rest our case. Anza, decorating made easy.
They championed the sale of organic foods over 2 decades ago. They encouraged the sale of local food from small producers. And they'll only buy their conventional British fresh fruit and veg from farmers who leave extra wide field margins to encourage wildlife. Who are they? The people who all own the supermarket they work in and want their customers to have the very best. Waitrose, quality food, honestly priced.
The city has two suns.
My family's lived on this hill forever. This is my home.
Only one can rule.
I grew up on this hill. These are my people.
You can be completely undone by your brother.
He's a plague, Tommy. We gotta take care of it before it kills us all. He's my brother. This is my neighborhood, and it always will be. You and I, we're not the same in any way.
Brotherhood, the brand new series, coming soon, only on FX.
It's people's differences that inspire us to be different. At HSBC, we offer different mortgages, including an option that allows up to 4 friends to buy together. Mortgages from HSBC, the world's local bank.
Sponsored by ING Direct Home Insurance.
Best friends Lindsay and Roger have dreams of escaping the rat race.
I mean, I don't want to work for the rest of my life. I want to have some fun.
They're hoping to make a quick fortune in Eastern Europe, where land is cheap. And these first-time property investors are taking on a massively ambitious project. They're building a 5-story complex of 22 holiday apartments at a cost of £480,000. With an estimated sale price of £1 million, they stand to make a whopping profit of just over £500,000, enough to pay off their mortgages and retire early.
I mean, if you can see that there's a chance of making money and it's legal, you've got a good chance, then you'll go for it.
The place they're hoping to make their fortune is Bulgaria in Eastern Europe.
We could afford to buy a lot more in Bulgaria than anywhere else.
Bulgaria is starting to attract mass tourism. The main resorts along the Black Sea coast are booming, and so is the property market. This is a budget traveller's paradise where a pint will set you back 30p, and first-time buyers can jump on the property ladder for as little as £30,000. But Lindsay and Roger have opted for an undeveloped and unproven area. They have chosen the coastal town of Byala in the hope of getting more bang for their bucks. It's not developed as a resort, but they hope it soon will be.
Right, this is the outskirts of Byala. Just going to Byala itself. It's not too quiet, but it's not packed. I can see that there's quite a lot of potential. A lot of people bought land around here, a lot of big developers. So I think we've got in right in the middle of all the big developers. So it's looking like it's going to be a good thing for the future. It's got that the oldie Bulgari feeling. We've heard rumours that there could be a golf course going in here and possibly a water park. Sounds good. I reckon in about a year from now you should see a big difference in Byala.
This is Byala Beach. It's one of the main reasons why we decided to buy here. It's a nice secluded stretch. The entrance to the beach from the property is about 200 metres. That way, you know, it just looks something special.
The beach may be special, but Byala has a long way to go before it can call itself an international resort. Like many Eastern European countries, Bulgaria is still an emerging market. Traditionally, this means that there could be massive capital growth over a short period of time. But there's no guarantee this will actually happen. So investing money here might give you huge returns, but it might mean kissing goodbye to your money altogether. This isn't Spain or France they're investing in. This is the Wild East, where you leave your ice creams and guns outside. Organised crime and corruption are rife, and Bulgaria is still in talks regarding its entry into the EU in 2007 until it can get its house in order. As the experienced builder, Roger is put in charge of getting the development started. Railway Safety Officer Lindsay will be taking it in turns to go out and supervise the work. It's June and the building work finally gets underway. But no sooner has work started than it has to stop. Little did they know, but the government has imposed a building ban. After months of preparation, it's a disaster for Lindsay and Roger.
We officially been stopped from building before we started. This is totally out of our control, totally unknown. It's, as I say, it's the first time it's ever happened here.
Building bans are common in Eastern European countries that are trying to build up their tourist industries. By banning building over the summer months, they hope to become more attractive to tourists.
It always seems to be you take 2 paces forward and then you go 1 pace back. We would like to think that the builder would catch it up, and he's told us he will, but who knows, time will tell.
It's now late September, and the building ban has been lifted. Even though he doesn't have the relevant building experience...
Oh, it's not quite as tall as it should be.
It's Lindsay's turn to oversee the site while Roger remains at work in the UK. Despite the delays, Lindsay's pleased by what he finds.
It looks like they're pretty much ready to rock and roll. From here, it should go up quite quick. This will be the reception area just here. Well, here, we've got the swimming pool. Just over here, there's actually going to be a duplex apartment. So, no, by Bulgarian standards, we're well in front.
The build may be making progress, but there's a major cloud hanging over this project. They've started the build without enough money to pay for it. Roger and Lindsay have put up £200,000 themselves, but they still need a further £280,000 to finance the completion of the build. So where will they find this kind of money? A fairly common way to fund a project like this is to find buyers before you start building work. They commit to buying a flat at a reduced price and pay a deposit up front. This cash enables the developer to start building work, but no buyers, no cash. Selling a property before it's actually built is known as selling off plan. Buyers only see the plans, but they secure the property at today's prices and benefit from any possible rise in the market during the construction period. With prices starting at £30,000, Roger and Lindsay are asking buyers to pay a deposit in the region of £10,000 up front and then make further payments as the build progresses.
Well, we need to sell 6 apartments because we've financed it. We're doing basically 1/3 out of the money we have, 1/3 against property, and we need to sell 1/3 off plan.
But so far, Roger and Lindsay have only managed to make 1 sale.
There is good news. We have got our first sale. One of the agents we're using, he's managed to sell one of the studio apartments on the 4th floor. So it's not all doom and gloom.
Big companies put a lot of money into marketing off-plan. They sometimes build a show home to boost sales before they build anything else. Lindsay is in charge of sales, but he has no marketing experience or budget, and he's relying on local estate agents to sell for him.
It's not looking good at the moment. It's a problem I'm trying to overcome. I'm going around as many agents as I can today, give them a good push, and to find out what the crack is. How many you sold for us then?
Yeah, a lot of interest, but we haven't actually sold any.
We've got to start selling, guys.
September, October is...
Yeah, I know you're doing your best. We've really got to start selling.
Realistically, Roger and Lindsay must get some sales before the end of October, the end of the tourist season, or else face financial meltdown.
No sales.
Lindsay decides to put the development with some more agents.
This is a new agent.
Obviously, you get paid on completion of deposit. You get your full amount.
But we must include our commission.
Your commission's in there? No.
In there?
No,
Okay.
yeah. You will still get your €40 per square metre. Okay? Fine.
She was going to try and put €40 on top of that price, I'm thinking, hold on, your commission's included in the price. Everybody's on the same commission. We've made it that way. That's why some agents won't sell for us, because they want more money.
After a hard day pounding the pavements, Lindsay doesn't look any closer to making sales. But back home, he's having better luck. Lindsay wakes up to a phone call from his cousin back in the UK.
I've just had some good news. Just got another 2 sales, i.e. 1 sale, but they've actually bought 2 apartments. This is really going to help towards spurring it on and without us having to raise extra funds.
With the 1 apartment sold by agents and the 2 sold to his cousin, that makes a total of £30,000 in deposits, plus more payments scheduled at later stages of the build.
It would be nice if we was getting a sale once a week, but we haven't got enough money to actually put into the marketing.
A month later, there are still no more sales. Roger calls a crisis meeting. The whole project depends on getting 3 more off-plan sales. And Roger wants to know why Lindsay isn't getting any.
Right, what's your definition of marketing?
I'm a bit behind on the marketing, I'll give you that. It's not my fault that every single agent we come across seems to be a
I think we need to discuss a budget for marketing.
Yeah. I did phone you up and I said about the 1,500 lev it would be.
You didn't consult me with Scott.
You can't say that. You were the one who told me the whole idea.
No, I don't remember that one. The unity that we've shown all along is starting to drop a little bit. I mean, say there's a few little things that you're starting to niggle me with and vice versa.
Yeah.
So I think really it needs to be discussed before it gets out of control.
I make a point of going to that phone box and making the calls, as where when you're over there, I will text you, and I get nothing back, and I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, but I'm blind. I can't text.
I don't get enough communication from you when you're out there, and I just don't know what's going on. And it was just nice if you communicated more with me while you're out there on your long stints.
When something happens,
indeed.
then I let you know. But until something happens, what's the point? If nothing has changed.
Because it's communication. If you want to run the project, Roger, you run it. I'll sit on my arse in the UK because I don't know what's going on. Right, Roger.
With communication problems and their relationship showing the strain, Lindsay and Roger sensibly decide to get expert help. In order to clinch the all-important off-plan sales, they visit an international property fair to meet British estate agent Helen Toney, who specialises in Bulgaria.
It's that cultural difference, even when they're agents in Bulgaria, it's about being dealt with properly, correctly, and delivery of service at the end of the day.
Experts never come cheap, but local knowledge is always invaluable, especially in an emerging market like Bulgaria.
See you in a little while, Helen. Thanks, Helen.
I don't think she was too bad. I mean, say, a little bit on the pricey side. At the end of the day, if the proof's in the pudding, it doesn't matter how much commission she's charging, because if she doesn't sell any, she doesn't get anything.
Yeah.
2 months have passed, and with only 3 apartments sold, Helen flies out to Bulgaria to make some sales. The financial viability of the build hangs in the balance.
3,000 sterling, and they've got sea views. They're absolutely stunning, yeah.
With sales in the doldrums, Roger's been working hard in the UK to try to put extra money into the build. But he's back in Byala and convinced his gamble on the new area is showing clear signs it will pay off.
That wasn't there. 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 The hotel over there wasn't there. This place is so up and coming. The more I look back, the more I think that we've made the right decision on the plot of land that we bought and the development that we're building. Anybody who buys here on the 3rd or 4th floor, the penthouses, are going to have a dream location and a dream view in probably Bulgaria's newest resort.
Helen's more realistic about the challenges of selling in an undeveloped area.
I think when you bring a client to the likes of Byala, when it's in the situation it's in now. Some clients will come and feel a little bit scared, for want of a better description really, because they can't, everything's not in its place. It's about the client's capability to have the vision to see what it will be like in 4 to 5 years' time, and I think that's important. Investors will have that vision if they're given the facts. Other clients, you'll take to more established areas and they will buy because it's there, it's safe, it's built, it's finished, and it's all shiny around the edges.
It's late November. Despite Helen's concerns, things look promising. 2 British investors have shown an interest and have come out to the site. This project urgently needs sales to finance the building work, so this is an important opportunity to show off the site.
It's different here when it's sunny and warm, honestly. Right, so this is the actual development. Should we get inside? The biggest benefit it's got is its position to the sea, as you can see in front of you, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you consider this is just the ground floor, once you're up to the 4th floor, have we got vision?
Vision? That's the
Vision.
euphemism again.
There.
Helen's hoping to get sales, but the investors have concerns about the quality of the building work.
Reinforcements, rust starts to rust and then it flows the concrete off.
Well, that'll definitely have to be finished before it's actually screeded.
Nice view. Building needs a bit more work.
Yeah. Obviously, if it's a long-term investment, you want to be happy that it's going to stand the test of time.
It's interesting because they are the first clients we've had on site, and some of the quality issues that they've picked up will be a concern that will go straight back to the developer, because it's important there's a minimum standard that's reached even at this level of build, really. My gut feeling is that they won't go for it.
Helen's gut proves to be correct and there's no sale. With sales flatlining, the financial future of the build is now in jeopardy.
I can see in January some big changes coming, but there is going to be changes because this is just diabolical the way we've been treated here.
Should be 140.
Roger tries to take control of the project.
That builder's going to get a tomorrow. It's an absolute shambles down here, mate.
Sponsored by ING Direct Home Insurance.
We're within mortar range of that army base, so it's very close.
I looked down into the ashes and saw a small hand. It was my son's hand.
The army is firing indiscriminately into the bush.
When they pick me up this time, I will not come out alive.
Dispatches, Burma's Secret War, Monday at 8 on 4.
Cruises. There's a world out there.
Hey, Billy, how'd you like to drive this pulling machine?
Yeah! Yeah!
And look what you'll be pulling. The new Samsung D900 Ultra Slim Slider with 3-megapixel camera.
Headphones for you. Take her away, Billy boy.
Yeah! Yeah! Yeah!
2 digital hearing aids for the price of 1 at Specsavers.
There's a place
one supermarket only buys its conventional British fresh fruit and veg from farmers who leave extra wide field margins to encourage wildlife. Waitrose, quality food honestly priced.
Be a high rate saver. Just invest a little money and you know it's gonna go real far. Do yourself a favor. So deposit every month and take advantage of our AER. It's much better than your savings jar.
Save monthly for a year and get 7% with a Halifax regular saver.
Sponsored by ING Direct Home Insurance.
Roger and Lindsay are sinking everything they've got into this project in the hope of making over £500,000 in a year. They are well into building a block of 22 apartments in Bulgaria. It's a risky project in a risky market where the rewards can be dramatic, but so can the losses.
Most people going to Bulgaria are reasonably sane and they just buy one apartment.
Roger and Lindsay hired local builders who came in with a low quote. But that's also meant language barriers and communication problems.
You've got to be a total idiot to try and build an apartment block of 22 apartments, really.
It's a high-risk venture, but if this area follows the trend of the nearby established tourist resorts of Sunny Beach and Golden Sands, the market could boom. Prices there have risen by 25% in the last year, and in the most popular areas by as much as 45%. Roger is an experienced builder, but he's stuck in the UK looking after various jobs. So it's Railway Safety Officer Lindsay who goes out to Bulgaria to inspect the site.
Hello, Rog. Yeah, it's Lindsay, mate. Yeah, I'm here at the site, yeah. Walking into that lounge, it looks really narrow. What I'll do is, anyway, I'll give you a measurement. I'll check up with you later.
It's 6 months into the build and the halfway point, and there's a host of problems. They're still short of sales, the building work is under question, and to cap it all, the entire project is rapidly falling behind schedule.
Bollocks. I've been up to look at another development, which is up on the top of the hill, which started after my development. They've actually put up 5 floors and a roof on it. How did that other development go up so quick and this one gone up so slow? When I was at the site, there was only 3 blokes actually working on this project. Before I make any decisions or anything, I must speak to Rog. Rog is the builder. It's like my job to smooth things over, meet people, talk to people. So I want to find out the facts before I move on. And so will Roger. And that's why I can see in January some big changes coming.
Christmas brings a welcome relief from the strains of the project and some much-needed time with the family. But the sacrifice of spending 5-week stretches away from home is starting to take its toll, especially on his young son.
It's quite hard when I come back because my son didn't talk to me. I mean, obviously James doesn't understand, but it was quite hard. At the moment, yeah, Daddy he loves Daddy again, but I mean, yeah, it's quite hard when you first come back and your son's sort of like rejecting you.
I don't think we really thought about the amount of time he was going to be away. I think we were hoping that a lot of the project was going to sort of manage itself or be managed by people over in Bulgaria. and I never envisaged that he would spend as much time away as he has done. That's been quite difficult. Yeah.
Bulgaria isn't just affecting Lindsay's home life, it's also putting strains on his friendship with Roger. As the build spirals out of control, the blame game starts with a vengeance.
At the end of the day, the person who's in charge and is there has got to carry the responsibility for anyone else's actions.
I agree with you, and then in the other respect, I completely disagree with what you're saying. All right, I take it all on my own shoulders. It was my fault. We employed him, we employed him, we employed him. I was fed bollocks by him, fed by him, and fed by him. So in which case, what you would do is you would sack him, and sack him, and get people in who can do the job.
I know it's Bulgaria, but it's no good blaming other people.
The decision to hire cheap builders is one that has come back to haunt them.
I never thought me and Roger would argue as much as we argued.
He's the person closest involved in the construction, so he's the one that gets it.
Roger's quite a bit more mature than I am, and if this was to go pear-shaped for him, he's at a stage where he loses everything.
It's January and Roger takes on responsibility for the build and heads out to Bulgaria. And he's not impressed by what he finds there.
That builder's going to get a bollocking tomorrow. It's an absolute shambles down here, mate. It's hard to sell off plan when something is in this such a condition.
Roger orders a massive clear-up, which takes a whole week.
To be self-critical, I shouldn't have been away for the amount of time that I've been away, and probably put Lindsay in a very awkward position, because where he is not a builder, it's probably a little bit more than what he was happy handling.
Once the site is cleared, Roger can inspect the work, and he finds a lot of basic errors. A lot of the building doesn't match the architect's drawings.
Should be 140. They got one right. All right, mate. Does the builder know how to use a drawing? Miles out, mate. A wall is about 6 inches out of level. The thing is, the project's 2 months behind already. It's hard to find anything that's right.
Months of work will now have to be undone and put right. Roger and Lindsay won't have to pay the builders for doing this, but it will take time.
The builder's tied in on a penalty clause to make sure that everything's put right. So, obviously, we don't want to have everything put right when the building's nearly completed, and that's one reason why I'm going to be spending a lot of time here from now to completion to try and pick up on any faults that I find and get the builders to rectify them straight away.
Most people wouldn't leave builders to their own devices if they were in the next room. But leaving builders alone on a project costing you over £500,000, thousands of miles away, when you don't speak any of the language, seems a little careless, to say the least. And in February, Bulgaria hits them with another surprise. Temperatures in winter drop to well below freezing here, and for a whole month, building work becomes impossible, pushing Roger and Lindsay's project hopelessly over schedule. In spring, work starts again on the building site. Back in the UK, Roger meets Lindsay's wife Jill to prepare for his next trip to Bulgaria. 9 months into the project, and they still have only sold 3 apartments off plan. They urgently need to make 3 more sales to get the money to finish the build.
That's how much we paid him?
Yeah. That is due for payment on completion of roof.
Basically, we're looking at 3 more sales. We'll cover all payments needed.
It would be nice to get 1 sale in the next 6 to 8 weeks.
Roger has managed to interest 2 prospective buyers enough to make the trip out to look at the site themselves. The landlord and landlady of his local pub.
So this apartment's basically from here, that wall back here, so you've got everything down to that wall there. Circular kitchen, toilet through here, around here. Now you've seen it, if I give you a copy of the plans, you'll know what you're looking at. You can take your measurements and you'll know exactly how big the rooms are.
Yeah, I'm quite pleased, really.
Yeah.
Quite pleased. We can see the view, you can see the views that you're going to get, can't you?
Roger tries to clinch the deal by telling them the site's a mere 150 metres from the beach.
Beach. What's that, as a crow flies?
That's crow flies, yeah.
So it's 400 or 500 yards, really.
I wouldn't say that. It ain't far. Let's haggle. Haggle, my boy.
I'll haggle with you. There's no
Nick will
way
get
that
tape
is no
measure
way
out.
that is 150 metres from here to the beach. I'd go 350.
I could see it, Roger.
I can see the sea, anyway.
Roger gets his sale, but they still need 2 more apartments sold off plan to cash flow the rest of the build. It's April, 10 months since work began, and according to the original schedule, the complex should be close to completion. It's far from it. And Lindsay's still not happy with the workmanship.
It's a nice view from the penthouse, isn't it?
So the boys make a great decision. They're bringing in a local expert to project manage the build and ensure the quality of the work is up to scratch. And Lindsay gives local structural engineer Darry a very warm welcome.
Cut this.
And this lady is not taking any nonsense from the builders.
She's got 32 years worth of knowledge. She's seen a few tricks in her time, so she's good. But the thing I have with Dari is she doesn't speak a word of English, so I always need a translator.
Can you please put up 2 bricks and go as high as possible, and then you can measure from the ceiling downwards, from the column to the end, from the column, Lindsay.
The reasons we brought Dari in is because of some of the making good needed doing. Some of the making good has now been done, and Dari's been measuring up to make sure that the making good is up to a good standard.
Майсторе, моля се, кажи им да седнат и да пушат и да пият бира, 2 думи няма да кажеме.
And also that these men here are working to a proper standard. She's already blasted one because she found a bottle of beer.
She's happy much now because after the meeting we all had with the builder and the constructor and the designer, they did devise the technology how to straighten out things, and she's much happy. Now this is done and it's being kept to.
Lindsay's hopeful Darry will bring the project back on track, but it's a valuable lesson.
As it stands at the moment, we're probably getting another company in to do the finishing, because we've actually looked around, seen other sites, and seen the quality of some of the finishings. And obviously we want decent quality.
Over the next few weeks, with engineer Darry cracking the whip, quality issues are addressed and the build makes progress. It's now June, 1 year since the building work began. The deadline has come and gone, but at least the 5 floors are now in place and the builders are up to the final level, constructing the 2 penthouse apartments. To show support, Lindsay's wife Jill and son James fly out to see the site for the very first time.
Wow.
What do you think, then, darling?
It's big. It's big.
If I'd had a bit more warning that you were coming this week, darling, I'd have got the Hoover out. This is the penthouse. Here's one of the huge balconies.
Wow,
Yeah,
it's
let me
massive.
take James another.
The person who buys this apartment, I can see them having a wonderful party out there on the balcony. And look at that for a backdrop for a party. Look at that view.
See the boat? See the little boat?
The visit puts everyone's sacrifice into perspective.
Yeah.
Being here and seeing just how big this development is, I can appreciate much more the stresses and the strains it's imposed on Lindsay being out here, managing this, keeping everything going. You know, I can understand the difficulties, but looking around, I can see it's definitely worth it. This is going to be spectacular when it's finished.
With renewed enthusiasm, Lindsay heads home with an idea to get more sales and therefore more cash by finishing one penthouse as a show flat.
It would cost a little bit, but if we did a penthouse out as a show home and we did it out in such a respect that it's got electric blinds.
Cost a fortune, mate.
How many people actually have a penthouse as a show home over here?
Yeah, but I'll tell you, mate, 168 square metres is a hell of a lot to furnish out nicely. You'd have to put something that's designer.
Yeah, it's something I'll look at. It's not a problem, I'll look at it. So I'll get some prices and costings. I've got another 3.5 weeks here.
You're probably looking at about £20,000.
Yeah, but at the moment...
a penthouse at?
We'll agree to disagree at the moment, but once I've got the facts and figures in front, then I can say, yes, Roger, you were quite right. Look, it's actually 22,000. You were closer than me, because I'm envisaging under £10,000 to sort this penthouse out. And when the person buys, they buy it with the furnishing, so we get that 10 grand back, plus we sell the penthouse. So, as Del Boy would say, everyone's a winner.
Yeah.
Their failure to agree on such vital matters could spell the end of their partnership.
His way and my way. It's a shame. But together we won't screw the project up. But together the decisions are not being made that need to be implemented. It's taking too long. I don't know. I really don't know.
Poor communication is just one of the problems that have pushed them months behind schedule. And that's meant one thing: their costs have risen, eating into their profit.
So far, we've put in about £300,000. The finishing costs have gone up, maybe now around another £300,000. So we're looking at a total build cost somewhere in the region of £600,000.
The total cost of the build has risen from £480,000 to £600,000. That's a whopping £120,000 over what they originally budgeted, and I doubt it will stop there.
Right, with the apartments we sold, we've got enough money to pay the builder to roof stage. We've then got to sell another 6 small apartments, and that would cover the rest of the build.
With their budget and schedule in tatters, they face the hardest decision of them all. Should they carry on with this troubled build to the bitter end, or sell up and cut their losses? Their homes, life savings, and friendship are all on the line.
I still like Lindsay as much now as I did when we started, but I've learnt perhaps he's not the person to go into business with, for me personally.
That tells me, in future, if you're going to go into business, do it on your own.
Sponsored by ING Direct Home Insurance.
We believe some National Front supporters will be coming to Bradford.
We're being held to ransom by the National Front.
On the 7th of July 2001, the worst British riots in 20 years broke out. Based on true events, More 4 brings you the tragic story of 2 brothers caught in the crossfire of the Bradford riots. And asks who was really to blame.
You made me sick. The photo is up in the mosque.
Everybody hates us now. Best it all for all of us.
The Bradford riots, Monday at 9 on More 4.
Ever Googled yourself? I have. Look at this stuff. Of course, it helps if you're powered by Pipex. They've been doing internet since 1991, almost as long as I've been wearing tight slacks. And today they have over 1 million customers. Spookily, almost the same amount of people who bought my last album, which makes them almost as much of an internet legend as me.
I am David Hasselhoff, and I'm powered by Pipex! Don't run away!
Introducing the Juice Booster from JML. With a powerful 600-watt motor and super-fast stainless steel disc, it turns fruit into flavorful, refreshing juice that's packed with goodness in seconds. The Juice Booster has an extra-wide chute, which means you can drop the fruit in whole. There's no need for chopping or slicing. Juice from the Juice Booster is pure and fresh every time, and it's also great for treats as well. Easy to clean, simply rinse under the tap or pop it in the dishwasher. Get maximum juice in minimum time with the Juice Booster from JML. Only $49.99 at Woolworths, Robert Dias and JMLdirect.com.
Glass protection, metal shine, rinse aid action, salt action, and fairy. It's got everything but the kitchen sink. Do you
you struggle to read labels, phone books, even maps in the car, especially in poor light? Then you need the MagniCard from JML. It's the same size as a credit card and is always ready when you need it. The 2.5 times magnification is perfect for reading labels on food, medicine, serial numbers, bank statements, and even washing labels. And its powerful LED bulb makes reading in low light easy at the push of a button. Even if your vision is perfect, you'll still find the MagniCard indispensable. Available for only $4.99 from Woolworths, Robert Dyers, in store, Focus and Boots right now.
Actimel strawberry. Watch out, it's tasty.
Because our homes and possessions are all different, we all need home insurance that's right for us. Swap your home insurance to HSBC. We'll match your existing policy as closely as we can and could beat your renewal quote by at least £60. Call us now with your renewal quote on 0800 023 4321. HSBC, the world's local bank.
When you enjoy life, you want to enjoy it to the full. And Optical Express Laser Vision Correction helps you do exactly that, from only £395 per eye. Optical Express, one of Europe's leading eye care specialists, provide only qualified, experienced ophthalmic surgeons with a combined experience of over 100,000 procedures carried out worldwide. Expert aftercare is included in the price and interest-free credit is available. For your free information pack or to arrange a free consultation, just call Optical Express today on 08702 20 20 20 for laser vision correction from only £395 per eye. Optical Express. Eye care, we care.
There's a new Garnier Ultra Lift to fight the appearance of deep wrinkles. 8 out of 10 women who tried it loved new Formula Ultra Lift. It's a firming anti-wrinkle cream with specially selected ginger captured in its purest form. In just 1 hour, skin appears uncreased. Even deep wrinkles appear reduced, and skin feels firmer. And our research is supported by the British Skin Foundation. New Formula Garnier Ultra Lift. Take care.
Garnier.
Sponsored by ING Direct Home Insurance.
Roger and Lindsay face crunch time in Bulgaria. After a year, their friendship is feeling the strain and their project is still a building site with all their money tied up in it. They face a harsh decision. Do they stick with it, knowing it's likely to take the best part of another year to finish, or do they cut their losses, sell to another investor and take whatever they can get? With 5 floors up and the building now structurally sound, Roger and Lindsay call in 3 estate agents to put 2 values on their project: what the building is worth in its present state and what it might sell for when it's finished. British estate agent Helen Toney hasn't been out to the site since the winter.
Come on a long way since we were here 7 months ago. All of the balconies are now in and the column supports are in.
Sarah Jane Goldborn is another British agent based in Bulgaria, and she's enthusiastic about the site.
It is absolutely a fantastic sea view, and you can't take that away from this project. Anything from 3rd floor up with the sea view is going to hold its value. It's going to hold its value very well. I happen to know of 3 very large, well-established European construction companies that will be building here over the next 12 to 18 months. Again, all very, very positive signs that Biala is set to be one of the next well-established large resorts.
Bori Lever is a local agent. She's been successfully selling here in Biala.
I, as a real estate consultant, representing these 2 buildings there, and they are both going very well. Half of them are already being sold.
Helen's more cautious because she's been having difficulty making sales.
In Biala, we've had this project for the last 9 months now, and we haven't sold 1 apartment, which is a bit embarrassing really. But you have to begin to look at why, because it is very beautiful. It's got a beautiful beach coastline, but it's just developing.
It'll be quite interesting to see what value they put on the property.
One option would be for Roger and Lindsay to cut their losses and sell the building on to another developer.
As it stands at the moment, when the roof is completed in the next couple of 3 weeks, anything over 300,000 evaluation on today's prices would be a bonus. It would mean that we've actually made something at this stage.
Roger and Lindsay need a valuation of 300,000 to break even, but is that realistic?
So, what do you think then, Miss Sarah Jane?
Guys, I'm going to put a value on this of about £380,000.
Well, I said I'd be happy with anything over 300,000. At least we haven't lost money on the shell.
But will cautious Helen agree?
I think you're probably looking at about 450,000 sterling at that state to roof stage.
That's good. That's a bit more than I anticipated.
But what about local agent Borry?
You can easily put it on the market for £600,000 as a shell.
These are dramatically different estimates, but they suggest that if Roger and Lindsay bailed out now, they could cover all their costs to date and walk away with between 40,000 and 150,000 each in pre-tax profits.
And that's encouraging, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not bad.
That's not a bad result, is it?
So that's, I think it's about double, isn't it?
Yeah.
But what do they think the project might be worth if they stuck it out and finished the build?
If it was all completed today, I would like to think it's worth about 1.1 million. Anything over that, I'd be well pleased with.
That would leave them with a pre-tax profit of £500,000. But are they being realistic?
If the project is finished today, 1.4 million British pounds.
That's great. Let's hope we can sell a few more. That would be really good.
I think you're looking at about £1 million to move it on this year.
It's a bit lower than I thought, Rog.
If you wanted to be selling these apartments now, I think just over £1.5 million.
That's a result,
yeah, that's a result. That is a result, yeah.
It's worth it.
This time next year, we'll be millionaires.
Such dramatically different valuations show just how volatile the market is here. But the valuations of the finished project put the boys' possible profits at between 400 and a staggering £900,000.
Go on, James, out you go.
Enough to pay off their mortgages and set them up for life.
Bulgaria is a very good place to make money, but if you're slightly naive, then don't come here.
We were Bulgarian virgins when we came over here. No matter how much research you do, it doesn't show you the realities of business in Bulgaria.
Personally, I wouldn't have started this project on hindsight for maybe 8-10 months research.
There's a hell of a problem with language. It isn't anything like any other European country I've been to.
We haven't managed to get hold of you to
And marketing should have been done before we even thought about putting the building up, before we should even put the footings in.
With hindsight, yeah, we've made a few mistakes. But at the end of the day, we've made the mistakes and we still made money.
But all the problems with the build have put pressure on Roger and Lindsay's relationship.
I mean, Roger and Lindsay have been friends for years, and being two very different personalities with, to a certain extent, different agendas and different ideas on what will make the project work has created a great deal of tension. And it's sometimes very difficult to get them to listen to each other and to compromise.
It's been a tough 12 months. Roger's a good friend, but we've had many heated discussions about this project and the way it should go forward.
Like me, he's quite a strong person and sees his way of doing things like I see mine, and we have clashed.
Obviously, I'm always right, and obviously Roger's always right. That tells me, in future, if you're going to go into business, do it on your own.
I still like Lindsay as much now as I did when we started, but I've learnt perhaps he's not the person to go into business with, for me personally.
There are some difficult decisions to be made. The big question is, with emotions running high, can they see this project through to the end together?
We actually could sell the project now as it stands and make a minimum of £30,000 each.
With the valuations I got yesterday, I can either decide to sell my 50% now, get out, spend some more time with Jill, James, and the money that I get back, do other things with it. The other option is to see this through. This project can definitely succeed. I can see that. It's just a bit more to do with the finances. A few more investors would really help. Personally, I think I would like to finish this project to the end.
We started it We'll finish it and we'll have the profit, thank you very much. No way are we going to sell a project. We're hanging on, we're going to have the profit, and we'll put it to good use in the future.
Despite all the ups and downs, the boys decide to see the project out to the bitter end. So far, it's taken longer than a year, but it looks as though they might just each pull off that £500,000 payday yet. Next week, we're following 2 make-or-break projects in Italy.
We want to be mortgage-free, debt-free.
It's everybody's aim, isn't it, not to have a mortgage?
But there's the extra, highly personal risk of entering into a family business for the first time.
10 grand, is that what they're saying it is?
Well, we didn't know things that we know now about the way it works out there.
If all goes well, it could be massively successful. But if they fail, they could lose everything.
The classic film The Jungle Book is over on Free Film 4 at 3 this afternoon. Next here on More 4, the final of our 4 parts, 1 year to pay off your mortgage.
Sponsored by ING Direct Home Insurance.
Jameson Irish Whiskey.
Sedan. In cinemas now.
Still looking for cheaper car insurance? Haven't you heard? Hastings Direct has been named as the cheapest car insurance provider for 2005. 0800 00 1066. 4 out of 5 people could save on their car insurance by calling Hastings Direct. Why not see how much you could save? They insure motorcycles too. Don't pay too much for your insurance. Call Hastings Direct now. 0800 00 1066.
George W. Bush died a short while ago.
Do I belong in jail for 5 years for acting in Deep Throat?
The word to remember
Where have you been?
Bra shopping is more.
More for.
Let it sink in, people!
More for adult entertainment.
I mean, I was brought up in this tiny little council house where there was very little private space. The lavatory was absolutely perfect. You spent endless hours reading things.
If you missed Time Team's Big Royal Dig a few weeks ago, grab the chance to see it again. More 4 from 10 to 4. Right now, though, frustration and red tape in 1 year to pay off your mortgage.
Sponsored by ING Direct Home Insurance.
Everyone dreams of having enough money to live mortgage-free. And in this programme, we're following 2 make-or-break projects in romantic Italy. If they succeed, within a year, they could be looking at a lifetime of financial freedom. But getting there is going to be anything but easy. Bev and Adi Aspinall are pursuing a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to pay off their mortgage.
We want to make a decent amount of money to pay me mortgage off.
But they've got Italian red tape and a demanding investor to contend with.
10 grand? It's too risky. If nothing else goes wrong, you guys are right at the doodads. So I want to beat the living crap out of them now.
While Simon and Phil are sinking their entire life savings into an investment in beautiful northern Tuscany.
We want it to be mortgage-free, debt-free.
And this is basically going to be another bedroom here.
Success could mean an end to the day job, but it's going to take everything they've got.
Our blood, sweat and tears have gone into this place.
Builder Adi Aspinall wants to change his life. After years of early starts, hard work and endless mortgage repayments, 46-year-old Adi's had enough.
I don't want to be working until I'm 65, you know, out in the cold and the wet. We want to make a decent amount of money to pay my mortgage off so I can finish work a little bit earlier, you know, at 50, which would be, you know, everybody's dream is to finish at 50.
His wife Bev works at a local DIY shop and she wants more out of life too.
I mean, it's everybody's aim, isn't it, not to have a mortgage, and especially at this age, it'll be great. And it means you can do other things with your life that you want to do.
But like many of us in the UK, they have a whopping £200,000 mortgage, no savings and no pension plan. They feel stuck in a rut.
Our ultimate dream is to travel. We want to do some travelling, see a bit of the world.
I think everybody's got to have a little bit of a dream somewhere to keep you going. You know, you've got to have some little goal. If you haven't, some people don't like, some people are quite happy to go on from week to week, but we're not like that.
But with a builder's wage and a part-time job, it will take them years to pay off their mortgage. Their only way out is to make a once-in-a-lifetime investment. But they don't have the cash to make it happen. Step in Bev's brother and self-made millionaire, Trevor.
I set up a computer networking business with a couple of pals and did okay out of that and decided to take some time out.
It's close.
I guess I'm temporarily retired stroke on a break, working out what the hell I do with the next 30-odd years of my life.
Well, for the next year at least, Trev's funding a hugely risky project with his sister Bev and husband Adi.
I'd love to see my sister and Adi be in a situation where they suddenly have a windfall, and the fact that they're going to have to work their nuts off for it makes it great, because no one deserves it any less than them then.
Trev is planning to be a silent partner in this venture, but how will Bev find doing business with her brother?
He's tough, and he's a tough businessman, but he's still my little brother. So I think there'll always be something there. There's always a way around him, you know, from changing his nappies.
So this is the plan. They've got a £200,000 mortgage on their house and no savings. Little brother Trevor is going to lend them £440,000. They're putting it all into a massive renovation project in the heart of Tuscany, which they plan to sell to make a massive profit of £410,000. After paying Trevor back with interest, they will then split the profit with him 50-50 and use their half to pay off their mortgage. There's a lot of money tied up in this venture, but perhaps more worryingly, there's the extra, highly personal risk of entering into a family business for the first time. If all goes well, it could be massively successful. But in the worst-case scenario, they're going to be losing an awful lot more than money. Whilst brother Trev bankrolls this investment to the tune of nearly £500,000, Adi and Bev will be responsible for the project.
My motivation is that I've got to go out there and achieve it for us to make the money. So it's really a lot's on my shoulders.
So it's bigger than this room. I've always wanted to do renovations. I really like the idea of renovating property, and because Adi's in the building trade, it just seemed an ideal situation.
They're about to take on a renovation in Tuscany, a region of Italy they love.
Probably been there about 20 times now, and I love the people, love the place, love the food, and just love the atmosphere over there, really.
But But a holiday and an investment of almost £500,000 are two completely different things. What's more, the project is a 6-bedroom farmhouse with 2 outhouses, all set in a whopping 12 acres of land. It's a lot of property and it needs a hell of a lot of work. AD does have the right building skills, but he's never done anything on this scale before, and certainly not in a foreign country.
A big renovation job, which is a little bit daunting sometimes because you go and look at it and it seems sometimes a little bit too big.
Trevor is used to big money ventures. They may be family, but he's treating this like any other investment.
I'm not the evil one, but I'm probably the hard one, just because I've had to be, you know, in terms of setting up a business and running a business. You've sometimes got to tread on a few people to get where you want to go. You know, you don't need to do that in a nasty way, but sometimes you can't take any prisoners. So I guess my attitude is very much quite a cold attitude to an investment.
And if this investment goes wrong and it makes a loss, Trevor will want his money no matter what.
The risk is if the project doesn't make any money, that's a problem we've got to deal with at the end, and you know how we deal with that will be interesting. I mean, I guess if it's a real nightmare, they're selling their place.
Sponsored by ING Direct Home Insurance.
After-school snack. Band-Aids, Neosporin, hand wipes, Kleenex, Tylenol.
Why not just bring them to the pharmacy?
Ben likes to be read to, you know, Dr. Seuss.
Not personally.
Do you have a word limit that you have to hit every day, or may I finish?
Julia Roberts and Susan Sarandon battle it out in Stepmom, tonight at 9 on Film 4.
Have you noticed how some of life's expenses tend to take priority, while others get put on hold? And an unexpected bill can really make a mess of your finances. A first-class homeowner loan can help you get your finances back on track by rearranging any existing credit into one low monthly repayment at a competitive rate like this. So call First Plus today on 0800 479 8080 or visit firstplus.co.uk and stay on top of your finances.
Del Monte have taken the finest fruits and simply juiced them. 100% pure juice. New Juice Bar, pure drinking pleasure only from Del Monte.
Did you pick it up?
Buy a Subaru and you'll get something huge. Up to £3,000 worth of free fuel. Visit freefuel.subaru.co.uk.
Getting older is a fact of life. Looking older needn't be.
Introducing DN-Age, Nivea Visage's revolution in face care. Containing folic acid, it increases cell renewal and helps protect your DNA from cell damage, improving skin's vitality. New DN-Age, Nivea Visage's revolution in anti-aging.
Glass protection, metal shine, rinse aid action, salt action, and fairy. It's got everything but the kitchen sink.
Healthy eating. Is it a chore? Or is it a pleasure?
What about my rapture, like a cherry on a pie?
Your diet. Is it rich in natural goodness? Or full of goodness knows what?
Just enjoy and take a ride.
Alpro Soya. Naturally low in saturated fat. A natural source of omega-3 and 6. And absolutely delicious. Alpro Soya. A healthy decision.
If you're renewing your car insurance, why not call in the AA team? Unlike some companies, we save up to 40% for all kinds of people. We'll also give you a full money-back guarantee if you find a cheaper quote. And a no-claims discount of up to 65%. Find out if you could save up to 40% on your car insurance. Call us now on 0800 107 9070. That's 0800 107 9070. The AA team, here to get you a better deal.
Sponsored by ING Direct Home Insurance.
Bev and Adi Aspinall are about to take on hundreds of thousands of pounds of debt to pursue their dream of mortgage-free living by investing in Tuscany in Italy.
I could be finished work in 5 years. You know, other people don't have this opportunity. So take it while you can.
Bev's brother Trevor is lending them nearly £500,000. But ever the businessman, he's also charging them £800 a month interest on their loan.
That is absolutely purely and utterly an investment to make money, nothing else, no emotions associated with it.
They bought the property for £190,000. They plan to spend £250,000 turning it into a luxury villa. That's a total outlay of £440,000. But they hope to sell on their top-end property for £850,000, which would give them a staggering £410,000 pre-tax profit to share between them. They're aiming high, but this is a huge amount of money to gamble on a first-time overseas investment, and it's builder Adi who'll be personally responsible.
If you don't take that chance, you'll always sit and think, well, if I did that, we might have been doing something else, or, you know. So you've got to stick your neck out sometimes.
To make such a huge profit, they're planning to do a top-end restoration that could look something like this. A luxury villa with opulent living quarters complete with stunning design. Ideal as a retreat for those with serious money to spend. But our trio have never done anything on this scale before and are about to do it in Italy. The area they have chosen is the top-price, high-end Tuscan heartland. The village of Palaia is situated in the middle of the so-called Golden Triangle between Pisa, Florence and Siena, a highly desirable location. It's stunningly beautiful and its culture and cuisine are world famous. Tuscany has arrived as a popular destination for top-end holiday homes and prices are high. So to get a premium, you really have to have something that stands out from the crowd. Add to that the infamous Italian red tape, and it means it's more important than ever to do your research and know your market really well. It's easy to see why people fall in love with Tuscany, but it can also be a bureaucratic minefield. You need all the legal and financial expert advice you can get. Cutting corners in Italy is not advisable. Renovation work doesn't come cheap either. Higher labour rates and strict regulations mean you have to work harder to make your profit margins. Where possible, do as much of the work as you can yourself. The market in this area has steadily risen over the years. Property worth just £800 less than 30 years ago now changes hands for over £1 million. Today, it's a well-established, strong market where the right property in the right location can still make you great money. It's August, and as our trio aim to complete this massive project in just 1 year, Adi wastes no time in getting started.
I think it's 6:45. Early start this morning, but look, beautiful. What a place to start work.
To keep costs down, builder Adi has taken on the enormous task of clearing this 12-acre site himself. It saves them £15,000 in labour costs and gets the project off to a good start. But just 2 weeks later, he's back in the UK for a crisis family meeting. The Italian builder's quote has come in a whopping £90,000 above AD's estimate. AD had calculated the renovation costs at £250,000, but he's based that estimate on UK prices. Fine if you're doing up a bungalow in Kent, not if you're restoring a listed building in Italy.
So I've allowed 10 for that.
10 grand? Is that what they're saying it is?
Well, they don't. Nobody knows how much it is, but they've talked thousands.
From my side of things, we got to take minimum 90,000 quid off this.
Yeah.
Or we don't do it. That's my stance. Because I can do better things with the money. It's too risky. It's too risky because nothing else goes wrong. You guys are right at the doodads because it's got to do more.
At least at this
It's a difficult one because when you first do it, it's a little bit off the top of your head because you don't know and you don't understand. And we did it on how the costings of things that would be here. So it was a little bit of a shot in the dark, the original budget. But it's now leapt up quite a bit more.
The figures are looking less healthy. Trevor is fearing for his investment, and Bev and Adi are fearing for their once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
You know, I sat there with you and I said, right, OK, before we buy this, what's this budget? Can you do it for this? Because these are the numbers it's got to work to for us to spend the money. Go ahead.
But you have to understand that, like you, with the finance side of it, we didn't know things that we know now about the way it works out there and how different things are out there. So we've been learning about it, and therefore it changes.
It's potentially devastating. Trev planned to be a silent partner, but his business instincts are kicking in and he can't help but get involved.
And what we need to make sure we find out when we get out there is how much this health and safety course, etc., are going to be.
There's an emergency trip to Tuscany.
Adi's going in the building capacity. Trevor's going in the financial capacity. I've organised it. It's down to them now.
The plan for this meeting is to get a better feel for the quotes we've had from the Italian builders.
And we want to get a better feel of what they're actually going to be doing and what they've priced for.
Italian builder Nikolai organised the original sale for them and runs the building company that sent the quote. Sensibly, the boys hire a local translator, Emma. It may cost a little more, but with English-speaking professionals thin on the ground in Italy, a translator is essential to have any form of negotiation for a good deal. And that's what Trev is here for.
That's just way too much. It's way too much.
C'hanno prezzi esagerati.
We just can't understand where is the money? Where's the money gone?
Ourselves.
One of the biggest sticking points is the price of the swimming pool. They budgeted £25,000, but the quote is over double at £60,000.
Because basically, if the pool's going to cost us more than about £25,000 tops, which is €40,000, I guess, or slightly less, about 37,500.
With everything?
Everything. Water in it, me ready to jump in it. Don't want to do it.
Every time Trevor gets the cost down, another regulation bumps it back up again.
And why's it got to be 2.7 metres? Why can't it be 2.5?
It's against the 2 metre 70 is the minimum height for a legal season.
Absolutely. Why can't we just patch it and plaster it?
It's not safe.
OK. Fair enough answer.
Because part of the farmhouse was a cowshed, the regulations classify the concrete floor as toxic waste.
So they're going to charge €4,836 to take a load of stone away.
Right. The ground's contaminated. Also, you have to have it taken away.
It's only cow shit. You must be able to spray with a strong chemical. What happens if we ignore everything that the community say and just do what we want?
Che se loro oggi o domani poi questa casa la vendano, non è a norma.
Well, you'll never be able to sell it.
I'm just trying to... I think the Italian government are a bunch of feeding monkeys.
Adi's early retirement depends on these negotiations.
We're shaving bits off, but we've got to shave a lot more yet.
How much is it?
4,462.
Well, you could do that though, couldn't you? Yeah.
we just save some money, we think. We really need to.
After a long day, it's back to the hotel for some serious number crunching.
If it can make us the money, then we do it. If it can't, we stop. And we just cut our losses and we go. It just would be a real shame to have to walk away from it because it's been hard work already, you know, so.
Trev is used to getting his own way in business, and he decides he is going to be the one to lead the fight for this investment's life.
I'm not scared to ask for something I want. I will get in a fight or a strop or whatever I need to do with someone to do that. Bev's obviously not been in that situation before, so she doesn't really know or how to do that and probably doesn't really have the confidence. And yeah, I guess Adie probably could do it. I just think that's my natural genre in the role of what we're doing.
For Bev and Adie's sake, I hope he can pull this deal off. Whilst Bev, Trev and Adie are struggling with Italian red tape, 50 miles to the north, a couple of lads are just starting on their investment of a lifetime in the hope of paying off their mortgage in just 1 year. They're putting all their hopes, dreams and life savings into an ambitious development in the less established region of northern Tuscany. Like Bev and Adie, they're also taking on a huge renovation project. It's a long way from home in Darlington, where 35-year-old Simon Coleman toils away as a sofa salesman in a retail park.
Already get my feet up.
Yeah, you're right. Get your feet up. That's what it's there for.
But he's taking a 4-month career break, which he hopes will change his life for good.
Ideally, I mean, what we want to get out of this is nobody wants a mortgage, nobody wants to be tied to something for the rest of their life. So we want to try and escape from that and be mortgage-free, debt-free. And basically, if we're doing what we're doing over there, we can be our own bosses and we can get up when we want, we can stop when we want and basically have a better lifestyle.
Partner Phil Daney has already packed in his job as a web designer to pursue his dream.
To think that by 25 I could be mortgage-free and living quite happily, it's an enormous sense of achievement. I do sit back and think, wow.
The mortgage on their home is a hefty £90,000 and would take 25 years if they had to pay it off in monthly instalments. They've already made £100,000 developing properties in the UK, thanks to their DIY skills.
We'd like to continue doing it in the UK, but it's just a market slowed down now, so this way we can keep doing properties up and make even more money, because you make more money over there, don't you?
Hopefully.
They want to get rid of their mortgage within a year, and they think they can do it by investing everything they've got in Italy. They have a mortgage of £90,000 on their home. They're ploughing every penny of their savings into a rundown barn in the quaint village of Teglia in Italy. The barn cost them £50,000. They need to spend around £80,000 converting it into 3 apartments, which they hope to sell for £265,000. That would mean a pre-tax profit of £135,000 within a year. Enough to pay off their mortgage. This is another high-risk international project. Not only have Simon and Phil quit their jobs to invest abroad, but they've also put all their money into it, which means that if things don't go according to plan, they could end up with all the money they've made locked up in a dead investment thousands of miles away from home. It's September, and with the build underway, Phil and Simon need to do all they can to keep costs down. Like builder Adie, they're also DIY savvy and plan to take on as much of the build as possible. The barn costs £50,000 and the builder's quotes are £80,000. That's a total of £130,000. But the boys' combined life savings are just £100,000. They plan to cover this 30 grand shortfall by taking on a lot of the work themselves. They want to convert this rundown barn into 3 stunning apartments like these. Packed with original features and all mod cons, They hope to appeal to the lucrative holiday home market.